start off talking about what robots are and what they do. So we just watched a little video about lots of different kinds of robots. What do you guys think is your favorite kind of robot?
I think that one.
This guy right here? The pink ones that's just like this?
Welcome to another episode of UEN's PDTV. In this episode, we have traveled to Adams Elementary in Logan to ask the question, what do college students and kindergartners have in common? The answer is computational thinking.
One way so that it's over top of that.
So I'm Sondra Knudsen, and this is my third year teaching in kindergarten. I taught first grade before that, and then I've also taught preschool. Here at Adams, we are a blue ribbon school. Demographic-wise, we are very mixed demographics. We are a Title I school, and so we have lower income students that do come here. In my classroom, I have 20 students that are here. 2 of them come from our Essential Elements class, and so we're including them in our class as they get to come in. And then I have one that doesn't speak English, so it's kind of fun to have that diversity with all the kids.
EdTech Competency 3E focuses on facilitating learning through critical thinking. Specifically, educators provide opportunities for learners to engage in computational thinking learning experiences. Throughout this episode, we'll watch as kindergarten teacher Sondra Knudsen teams up with the Utah State University Robotics Team to provide her learners opportunities to engage in robotics, engineering, and critical thinking challenges. Well, we're here today because you have a special event happening this afternoon. Tell us what's going on and what the students are going to be doing.
We are going to have a STEM day where I've invited Utah State Robotics Team to come and to do a couple experiments to teach kids about robots. Anything that I can do to help these kids have hands-on opportunity is what I love to do for them. So today we're going to be having some different options where the kids get to do hands-on things. One of them is there's a robot that the USU Robotics Team has that the kids get to build a maze. And then the robot will be able, with their sensors, to go through this maze. And then there's a lot of problem solving and thinking of the kids to see if they can figure out why it won't go through or what they could do differently to make it go different through the maze. The other thing that we're going to be doing is some coding, where they get to build a little puzzle and the robot will follow the line of that puzzle. And then again, critical thinking, like, why is my robot not going through? And then after they can do that, then I'm going to let them draw their own lines and see if they can get the robot to follow the line that they drew. And then again, problem solving, critical thinking, seeing how they can fix it to make it go better.
How did you form this partnership with USU and getting them to come here?
Okay, so I have a son that's actually at Utah State, and he is majoring in electrical engineering, and then he also does computer science, math, and business, but he is on the robotics team, and he will actually be one of our helpers today that's coming. And so with him, he created this robot, and I was like, I would love for my students to be able to see that. So they actually came last year, and they had a big robot that they had been working on for a competition, and it was a robot that the kids got to sit on and ride, and we did it outside. So this one's gonna be a little bit different. I'm kind of excited to see what they come with and what they teach the kids this year.
I love that you're taking advantage of that family relationship.
Yes.
I also love that they're allowing the students to interact with the robots rather than just a, visual presentation, but don't touch kind of experience.
Yeah.
What do the students learn, your students, what do they learn from this experience?
They definitely learn that problem solving skill because it doesn't always work right the first time. Sometimes you have to do it twice. Sometimes you have to really think about, like, what can I do to make this work better? Last year when they were on the robot that was actually driving around, they got to see how those robots actually have little tiny parts and how it all forms and makes one big robot. And then we also talk about different things in our world that have robots, and that we do have a need for robots in our world. So, and just science and STEM and math, and it all fits together. I have a little quick video I want you to watch about robots in our world.
Okay, what's your picture in your mind when you think of robots? Do you think of a walking, talking piece of metal like this?
How many joints do you have in your hand? Well, you've got 5 fingers, but on each finger you've got 2, 3 joints. that means controlling your hand is just like, that's like 1, 2, 3 switches from your finger.
I love that it's this real world connection with all of those core concepts. Such a natural fit to bring those together. We also have computer science, core standards that the students work on. And I love this too, because I think often teachers feel like there's no room in the day. How am I possibly going to cover computer science standards with everything else that needs to be taught? How have you arranged that so that this opportunity kind of covers multiple things?
I definitely take it into lots of different areas. So already this week we've been writing about what a robot would do. So we incorporate it in writing. I incorporate it into math. So I try to get it involved in all subjects and not just focus on just the science or the technology part of it. We're incorporating it into everything in our day.
Technology is not a new thing for your students either.
No.
Robots maybe. Yes. But you use technology a lot in kindergarten. Tell me, what kind of tools are you using with them, and how do you have success with such young learners?
So one thing that we have is we have a 1-to-1 ratio of devices. So every student has their own Chromebook in kindergarten, and these passwords are not easy, but they learn how to log into their own computer. And then we do Lexia. Our language arts program is what they get to work on that computer. But I also use it for Nearpod, and I use it for other things that I find that they can work on and get used to knowing how to use a computer. A lot of them know how to use an iPad, but when it comes to a computer, not all of them do. And a lot of students, because we are a lower income, they've never even used a computer before. So teaching them how to use it in a positive way has been really helpful for them, and parents actually appreciate that their kid now knows how to use a computer. And so, but we teach them how to care for the computer, how to carry it, how to, the letters on it. They have to learn so much when we first hand them that device.
Yeah, talk about combining different core curriculum areas. And what a great year, as long as you're teaching them citizenship and friendship skills anyway. What a great opportunity to tie that right into the technology world as well. We are good citizens in every situation, in every realm that we work in. What do you think the Utah State students gain from this experience?
I definitely think that it gives them opportunity to interact with students that are much younger. I have other students that have come to help with different things, and they love to give back. A lot of students have said, I was a struggling reader, and so I love coming to the school to volunteer. And so I know that that's one thing that these students like to do, is they like to come and interact. And this is the one and only time that I do get my son to actually come into the classroom, because he just shakes his head and said, I don't know how you do what you do every day. But it does get them involved, and these young students look to them, and it gets them seeing what STEM is and what things that they could think to become when they get older.
Well, thank you so much for letting us visit your school, especially on this exciting day with Utah State University.
Thank you.
Now that you have seen EdTech Competency 3E in action, consider how you can implement this competency into your classroom as well. As always, we start with our standards. Specifically, get to know your computer science standards and consider how you can teach them along with your other core standards. To help you with this, you can visit the CS for Utah Hub in UEN's eMedia. There you can find lesson plans that combine core content areas like English language arts or mathematics with computer science standards. Critical thinking and computational thinking skills pair really well with real-world connections. Just as you saw today, consider ways that you can bring in real-world applications of the concepts the students are using. There are a lot of ways you can incorporate robotics into your classroom as well. In the elementary schools, there are a lot of age-appropriate robots and coding exercises that you can implement. Again, you can find more information about these robots and what to do with them in the CS for Utah Hub. In the secondary schools, there are also opportunities for students to participate in clubs and competitions around robotics. For example, the Lego League project or VEX Robotics would be great for secondary students to become involved with. And of course, there are a lot of opportunities in higher education for students to take courses and participate in activities involving robotics. There are also a lot of technology tools that can help you teach lessons that lead up to bigger projects that involve critical thinking. For example, Nearpod is a great way to present concepts and lessons and have students interact and give and receive feedback in preparation for these larger projects. For even more resources, strategies, and tools to help you implement this competency, visit uen.org/PDTV and look for the teacher toolkit that accompanies this episode. Thanks for watching UEN's PDTV. To access more professional development resources from UEN and to schedule a training, be sure to visit uen.org/development. We'll see you next time.